That's all I've
Okay,
got.
you should have it.
Thank you.
Good. Good morning, everybody. Let's see. Today is Wednesday. So normally Wednesdays are kind of locked in for emerging agents. And the reason for that is, well, it's just awesome. We love to celebrate that. I got to pull something up real quick that I just received, and hang tight with me. Where is it? I wanted to make sure I got this exactly right. Mr. Abramson, how are you today? So I got a great email just a little bit ago, and I want to make sure we're all on point with this one.
So I had to turn my volume on.
Turn your volume on. There you go. Thank you. Listen, so I'm not going to let you announce it. I'm going to do it because I'm going to make this is a pretty damn big deal. I want you guys to get the idea that what I'm about to say has to do with faith and confidence. The faith that he can do it, the confidence that he's going to succeed. The thing is, as of just a couple days ago, Alan's an icon agent. That means he's getting $16,000 worth of stock. He has worked for free this year. He's getting compensated. Dude, rock star status. Congratulations. Way to go. How did that feel when you made it? How did that just energize you?
I was shocked to see the email. Honestly, I wasn't expecting it. I mean, so it was like, yeah, for sure.
Wow. So the he sent this email out just saying, thanks so much. And Fred replied back, and he copied Brent, and he copied, I think Gene's copied on there. He definitely copied Jeff. Now they're waking up or not waking up because it depends on where they are. I can't wait to see the other celebration emails that come in on this one. Along with this, and I wouldn't normally bring it up, but I'm bringing it up because we get to talk about you. Bobby Baldor just did it again for the third time. And folks, this is a huge accomplishment to be an icon agent. He's the top of the company. We all know Alan. He's in these calls. He's talking to us. He's engaged. He's on purpose daily. What do you attribute this to, man? What was the catalyst to make this all happen for you?
You got to just keep pushing and pushing and pushing and communicate. I mean, sometimes the clients, they play hard to get. I mean, I took what you said. I've got things on my wall. The one that says 80% of the sales are made on the 5th to the 12th contact, and just keep pushing, and then now I got one that says fortunes in the follow-up.
I'm ecstatic for you. I mean, all right. So just for some of you that don't know, first thing he had to do was he had to cap. Okay, that's cool. Then you're at 100%. Not a too shabby right there. And then close an additional 20 units. And when that happens, EXP, the brokerage he's with, the brokerage a lot of us are with, rewards him for his successes. It says, thanks for being the top 1% of the company. Now, it's not for free. He's not just, oh my God, look at this. I get $16,000 worth of stock. He's also going to be participating, which he does already, in giving back to the company, helping vet out new icon agents, perhaps teaching a class, talking about what he did. And get this, folks, the top 1% is about the top 0.5% of real estate worldwide. Huge accomplishment, Alan. So proud of you. This is awesome. We will see you at the event in Las Vegas. You got to go now, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to leave some money at home so I don't gamble it away. But
well, they're going to give you $2,000 at the end of that month right away in stock that you can turn around and sell instantly for doing just that. So congratulations.
Let me just say this. I've learned a lot from all these classes and all the money mindsets. It's a marathon real estate. Sometimes the clients, are ready to go, and sometimes they're not ready to go. All I would say is just stick it out and keep pushing.
Well, that coming from an icon agent, I'm going to pretend. Actually, who are we kidding? Pretend. I'm going to guarantee that that's actually really, really good information right there, folks. Welcome, Alan. Welcome to the top 1% of the entire company. Flat out the top 1%. Welcome to the top 0.5% of the real estate industry worldwide. This was worked for, earned, and hard work. God bless you. Congratulations. And boy, huge. Everybody else, this is possible if you have faith and confidence. And that's the topic of conversation today. So I'm a very faithful person. I'm sorry, I did not do that properly. Alan, is there anything else you want to share, man? Literally, this floor is yours. You've earned the right to share with us anything that's important to you.
Well, I would say this. I spent the first half of my, I guess, working career in construction, and that was a learning experience. It was a different time set or time frame where you actually walked into people's offices and shook hands. Now everything's done more electronically, so it's a different world. And it took me a while to learn it. I've been doing real estate for the last 12 years almost, and I started out my first year. I think I did 60,000 in sales, and then it just kept growing. I mean, you just got to keep building and building and building. And with time, as you keep saying, time on task over time, it gets, I don't want to say it gets easier, but you get more knowledgeable.
No, I agree. I do. And you mentioned something that I thought was that was important, and I wanted to. I'm going to probably paraphrase it a little bit, but there's a nugget. And every time you're on one of these calls, every time you're in a training of some type or another, if you're in a mastermind that we do on a daily basis, I want to challenge you to find one thing that you can put into play, one actionable item that's going to help you, one thing that's going to change your mindset, that will help you progress your business, because this is time on task over time. This is one step in front of the other. Your business today is better than it was yesterday if yesterday was doing something to move you forward. You have to have the faith in yourself and the faith in your commitment. First off, you're going to make mistakes. All right. I guarantee it. You're not going to hold yourself exactly to the calendar that you want, but you have to have faith that you know what you're doing and faith that it's the right decision. Now, I'm a big believer in my personal faith, and I'm very faith-based. Thank you very much to my beautiful wife. She introduced me to really structured religion, and I am truly grateful. This is my opinion. It's not yours. You do whatever you do whatever is good for you. But the faith that I have that things are on purpose is awesome. The faith that I have in my ability to identify something that I should probably focus on, I don't question myself as much as I used to. I don't question the decisions I make. If I feel intuitively right inside that it's right, then there's a really good chance I have faith in my decision-making process. And I want to challenge you, if something resonates with you, where you get this like tuning fork going off and you're like, wow, that's something I need to apply. Trust yourself. Trust your instincts. Trust who you are. I've got I think he's one of the most diligent people I've ever seen. He's been on point, on purpose for a couple of years. His name is Patrick Sweeney. He's a business partner of ours. This guy works his butt off. He really, really does. I love the tenacity. Well, he's writing another contract, which is terrific. And we're talking, having these conversations, and these conversations, he's saying everything right, but he's asking it in a question. Inside, he knows the answer. Inside, so do you. Have some faith in yourself that you are making the right choices. If something feels right, I need you to say, that's it. I got this. I need you to have confidence in who you are. Patrick questions who he is. God bless him. That's not what he should be doing, because his instincts are spot on. Now, I'm going to do you all a service that I did not do Tiffany and a bunch of other people on another call. I'm going to show you what is possibly my favorite shirt in the world. And this is reflective of confidence. So can you all see this right here? Confidence is the feeling you have before you fully understand the circumstances. Now, for me, this makes me laugh every time I see it, because the Jeep driver is like, oh, yeah, I can make that. I just thought I'd throw that out there because I thought that was funny. And I had to resonate it for you. When I showed it to Tiffany, I was wearing that, which is not a good look on me, by the way. And my wife agrees completely. She goes, no, don't ever do that again. I wanted you to see that that's not really what confidence is. Your confidence is knowing that you're going to be successful. Now, if you don't have that confidence already internally inside of you, where you absolutely without reservation know this, I want you to find somebody on this call to have that conversation with and let them help you reaffirm. There is nobody here who cannot accomplish whatever they put their mind to. And today, as I said, it's confidence and faith. And it's not what you think. I'm not talking holy roller at this point. I'm talking faith in your abilities, confidence in your skills and what you can do. No one on this call, by being on this call, you've excluded yourself from the probability that you can't do this. Now, I go back all the time to, if it's on your schedule, it's going to happen. To, you have to have a plan. And as Alan had said, killer example, if it's in front of you, you see it, it will happen. Tiffany and I ask everybody all the time, what are your goals? Where do you want to be? Joe as well. What is important to you? What is the number? Because unfortunately, this is a numbers game. What is the number that makes a difference to you? Now, how can we help everybody get there? By encouraging you, by standing with you, by offering you things like these calls. I hope they bring value to you. But most importantly, what we can do is let you know that you can do it. And hopefully instill in you that you have the faith in yourself. You should. You deserve it. You're here. You've already earned it. Every one of you. Ryan, I'm looking at you. Sasha, I'm looking at you. Steph, go back to red. Just saying. Throwing it out there. Love the red. Every one of you can do this. You just have to say, I'm going to, and then say, I'm committed to it. God, we talked about this so much. I have watched, in the 20 years, I watched myself do what I didn't think I could do. I knew I could, but I had my doubts. I'm sure everybody's experienced the same thing where it's like, oh, can I really, should, oh, God. It's going to be hard. Just telling you, it's going to be hard. You're going to have to really push. But guys, the reward at the end of this, Alan, terrific. Using Alan again as an example, went from construction into this, and he said it's taken 12 years to progress. It is my sincere hope, Alan, that the last year and a half to 2 years has really kind of catapulted you. And that's where you've gotten your momentum, because there's so many people standing with you and you have this energy daily. Is that a fair assessment?
Absolutely. You get stronger every day. I mean, I met an agent, and she just got started. She says to me, well, I want to do, $1 million deals. I said, have you done any deals? She said, no. I said, well, why don't you cut yourself on a small $50,000 deal and learn the ropes? And one of the things, that I think helps me is when I had my construction business, I was reading and signing construction contracts. Mm-hmm. And so, when it comes to the contract, I think I have a good or a better understanding. I can tell you a story or the story, but I only change one word, but changes the whole meaning of things. So that, and just, again, just keep pushing. It's a process.
Sorry. Thank you. I was just reading, Robert, really, seriously, $750 away, 3 transactions away from that. Wow. Okay, dude. We will fix that this year. This is going to change, right? This is going to change. And I'm sorry, I read that. I'm like, oh, it's heartbreaking. It's so close, man. But you know what? Don't lose sight of the fact that that's a victory. It's a huge win. And what are you saying is he was 3 transactions away from being an icon agent. It means he was fully capped, 100%, 17 other sales after that. And we needed 3 more in his anniversary year to get to icon status. You're going to do it this year, Robert. I can't wait to talk about this again. When you hit that benchmark. And I'm going to give you guys a suggestion for Robert. This is for you directly. Try and be an icon agent, I don't know, 4 or 5 months before your anniversary is over. So that way you don't have to worry about it. There's no stress. Just throwing it out there, make it easier for you. Okay.
There's no stress. That just makes Alan's words of advice right now even stronger.
That's it. This is all about working together. This is all about our mindset and what we're doing. I wrote down some things that, and I guess I'm going to share something with you that I'm proud of, but I'm also kind of frustrated with, but I have great faith and I have great confidence. And we're seeing this as well with another one of our partners, Tony, DeFalco is just showcasing the heck out of what determination is. And he's gone through some ups and downs with, managing his weight and his health, and it's been a priority to him. And if y'all have seen him, because he has faith in what he's doing and he has confidence and he's not quitting and he's every day getting there. I went through his progress because he records it brilliantly. And while most of them were positive days, there's one day where there were 1 or 2 days where the numbers didn't really kind of consistently go with the losses that he's incurring. And that's okay. Do you get the idea, though, that this is hard work and he took a commitment to it? He had to have, knowing that this was going to be challenging. I think I can speak on his behalf that it was, if he didn't have faith and confidence in himself to be able to accomplish this blindly, it wouldn't happen. And he's doing that. I'm also going through something where I've been, I joined a new gym, which I absolutely love. And I go every single morning. I ride 10 miles, 5 miles there, 5 miles back. And every single day I'm at the gym for 30 to 45 minutes working out. Okay. So this is my commitment for the last 2 weeks. I put on 2 pounds. Come on. It's just not right. And the question would be, okay, are you doing everything else right? Yes, I'm trying to for the most part. But the bottom line is there is a change that has occurred or is occurred in my actions. And I haven't seen the results yet. But I absolutely have confidence in it. And I will not quit. If my wife's on the call, I don't think she is at this point. She's like, wow, that's like 2 weeks in a row. You're up at 4:30 every morning.
Wow.
Right? That's what I'm thinking.
Muscle weighs more than fat.
Yeah. Thanks, Sunshine. I know it does. And that's part of the faith. I don't see it. I don't see it on the scale. I don't see it, but I have faith that I know this is the right direction. I'm positive of it. I'm sorry.
I bet you feel better.
I do. Well, scotch doesn't help feeling better in the morning, but I still get up I'm kidding, but I still get up every morning and I got to get this done. And what I'm getting at is not my success, because truthfully on the scale, there isn't any success yet, but there will be. And because I have the habit, I know with my confidence that it will occur, that I'm going in the right direction, although I don't necessarily see the results. Now, I wanted to identify that or have that conversation with y'all so that you could probably put yourself in my shoes and saying, have you done something in the past where you just knew it was the right thing to do, but you didn't see the results? They just didn't come, and it took a while. I watched a show a while ago, and I personally, I like it. I'm just going to be transparent. It's called The Secret, and it really resonated with me. Now, whether it does or whether it doesn't is not the debate at this point, but there was one part in there that was the gentleman who was talking about it was really clear. And he goes, it's like this blade of grass that, you keep knowing it's going to keep growing, and it's just so close, and you just know it, and you get to right here and you're like, it's not going to work. And then it doesn't. It's this close to breakthrough, but breakthrough takes time. And it takes commitment, and it takes your mental commitment. You have to say, I'm going to be in here. I have faith in what I know is the right thing, because your instincts are proper. Your drive inside of you is accurate. Do not shortchange who you are and the fact that you have this almost divine ability to identify what is important, what is good, what is right, what is proper for you. Your instincts are built that way. That God built that. That's my personal belief. God gave that to you as a gift. Patrick proves it to me over and over again. This is a gentleman who's closed 3 or 4 transactions in his career, and he's tenacious. He will be on point. And when he's talking about what he thinks he wants to do in the form of a question, he's right, because his instincts are good. So are yours. They're better than you think they are. You have to have confidence in you. Alan proved this. Adam proved. Abrams proved this as well. We're going through the process of what is important to us, and are we reaching those? Are we focused on what we're doing? If the answer is yes, don't quit, please. So many people have left this short of massive success. And it's going to be hard for every one of us. It's always hard, again and again. If you have any disbelief in that, I shot at 38 on the back 9 of a golf course. That's a really good number. That's like 3 off or 2 off a par. That's huge. And I shot a 54 on the front nine of the same course. What I'm getting at is it's never consistently easy, but progress happens, and progress one step in front of the other. What Alan was speaking of, what I have spoken of, it's going to be something you're going to work on, and the work isn't going to stop, and your confidence and your faith will help push you through it. I love the idea that it surrounds you, that you know what your mission is. Now, please remember this, because I truly believe this to be true. You are not working to make gazillions of dollars. That's a byproduct of what you're doing. You're working because somewhere in there, there's something more important to you. And usually it's freedom or something that is of value to you. And when you identify what that value is, your big why changes your world. It helps push you through when faith wavers, because it will. Don't let it. When confidence is a little sketchy sometimes, it will get back on point. You got this. But it's not because we're going to be the best real estate agent in the world. The truth is, you're probably going to be just that. And don't not strive for that, but is that really what drives you? Is there something else that's so important? And if you can figure out what that is, it's going to help you. It's going to continue to push you through. I am completely speculating, but I also, I believe, have a level of confidence that this is fairly accurate for Tony, and truthfully for me as well. But for Tony, let's just talk about him for a minute, because he's not here and I can do that. I wouldn't be at all surprised that a lot of this doesn't have to do with Ava and his children and making sure that he's going to be there for them. And that is his big why. Now, I may be completely off, but I know that he loves his family greatly and his kids more than anything in the world. So why wouldn't that be a driving force for him? That's with one part of his life. And remember, real estate is one part of many. This can't be all consuming. Got to be able to compartmentalize some of this. There's other things equally important: your spouse, your children, your personal health, your spiritual health. I don't know about y'all, but you can't get me to go to an appointment on Sunday morning. I go to church. That happens every day or every Sunday. No, it's up to you. You do whatever you want. But what I'm getting at is, I don't even know where the hell I was going with that. It's going somewhere. It just kind of went off. I just lost it somewhere. All right. So, it's funny because Tiffany and I were talking yesterday. She goes, "So what are you going to talk about? What's the call tomorrow?" Like, I don't have a clue. I remember thinking to myself, I said, I have faith that it'll come to me. I'm like, oh, well, there you go. That's kind of cool. So I was out on the ride this morning, and I stopped halfway there, literally in the middle of a fairly busy road, but it's at 5 a.m. So there's nobody there. And I started typing up, it's all about faith and confidence. So I wrote down a bunch of notes. And by the way, if you get an opportunity when you're driving a bike or if you're running and there's no cars and it's pitch black so you can actually see them, they're not going to surprise you. And you get to stop in the middle of the road and put the kickstand down on the bike and circle around and pace around your bike for a few minutes in the middle of what was normally a very busy road, it'll freak you the fuck out. It is scary as hell because you're like, something's coming. I know it, but it's just cool too. I'm like, that's really awesome. Great thinking under pressure is what that is right there. Anyway, for everybody that I can see, Sasha, thank you. Henry, awesome. Ryan, you're dressed for success, brother. You look awesome. Ralph, good to see you. This on my lower left-hand corner, that is not Elsa Fuentes. That is the great Tony Fuentes. He is a New York City finest who had moved down here and is a business partner friend of mine. Jonathan shows up. Shocker. Got to have his words in there. Janine, Deborah, Allen. Cheers, brother. Robert, of course. Deep. Don't forget. Don't ever forget what you're doing this for. If you haven't figured it out, I want you to. I really do. You have to know. Mine's freedom. I want the freedom to do what I want when I want. Truthfully, that's it. It's not about selling 1 million homes anymore. I've done that. Right now, I want the freedom of flexibility in my schedule. I'll tell you a little story. Because you never know where things are going to come. We, yesterday, remember freedom, big thing for me. Everybody knows I want a boat, right? That's just, I'm pretty transparent. I want to travel around on a boat. Yesterday, we took our children out of the school that starts this morning because we didn't like some of the things they were doing. I'm not going to get into what they were because it's not important. And we're looking around at different options, and they very possibly will go to another school, which is awesome. Or they may we may do some homeschooling. But the funny part is, I know my big why, and it's freedom. And the thing that Jackie said to me, she goes, if we decide to do the homeschooling, which we're leaning very heavily towards, because I think they'll get a better education. Again, my personal opinion, not yours. We're now looking at what I call a land yacht. What if we got a mobile home and we took our children up to Niagara Falls? We took them to the boat show. Shocker. That's where I want to go. We took them to Carolinas. We took them because we can't really travel a lot out of country, but we started taking them to places they've never been before while they're going to school. Isn't that the freedom that I wanted to do? And one of them's coming in to make a comment. I think maybe not, but I heard him walking around. But how cool would that be if it's a win-win? And it is. If you know what you're looking for, if you have a clear objective to what your big why is, I promise you, if you concentrate on it enough, if you make that a part of your daily what's going on. Red, good to see you, brother. It says Zoom user, but I know who you are. But if you make that a part of your daily vision quest, go ahead, you can get it. Nobody can see you. They can't see you. I promise you they can't. Oh, she's not going to do it. I was going to turn the camera on her. That's my youngest. She's beautiful. Beautiful. That's why I have a gun for her. But if you make it a part of your mission, which is, I'm going to look at this every day. I'm going to look at what's important to me every day. I'm going to focus on my big why. Everything else will fall into place. I promise you. Is it going to happen overnight? Absolutely not. Don't kid yourself. Nothing in this world is that easy that's worth having. And this is worth having. It's all about you. All right. There's much to see. Yes, Lauren, Lorena, you're absolutely right. There's a bunch out there. I am just excited as all heck about the possibilities out there. Guys, this one's short and sweet. This was unscripted, but I knew where we were going this morning at about 5:05 in the middle of Dr. Phillips Boulevard and a 4-lane highway, which is just bizarrely cool. If you have faith in you, I would hope, God, and the fellow people around you, look around this call. These are people you can have faith in too. You can count on. I believe that. I truly do. If you have confidence in yourself and, oh my God, you need to have that. You've already earned the right for that. You're here. You're learning based. You're moving forward. You're on purpose. It is my sincere hope that these mornings give you something that Alan got that helped him, where there's one thing that I'm going to say, you know what, that's the thing I'm going to hold on to today. And I've got a positive mindset. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to make a difference in somebody's life. I'm going to make that 5th, 6th, 9th, 12th call, Alan, get those people who may have said no, or quite honestly, just ghosted you. Now they're actually picking up the phone, because it does take 80% of the closes occur after the 5th attempt. 80% of the closes occur after the 5th attempt. Here she is. She ran out like a little mouse. I love you. Go ahead. Go for they can't see you, really. They're concentrating on me. Everybody say hi, Lana. Honey, wave to them. They can all see you.
Hi, Lana.
Daddy.
She's 14 years old. She's as beautiful as my wife. And I can't wait. I told her, I said, tell every one of the boys that ever talked to you, let them know that your stepfather is not afraid to go back to jail. Just let them know that. That's all they need to know. Okay. They know that I'm okay with that. We're good. We got the problem solved. And that I own a gun on purpose.
George,
All right.
She will not be talking to you for the rest of the day. So
Probably
that discussion's over.
I think you're done for 2 days.
You're probably right.
And I think you have a few door slams coming your way as well.
I may. I'm going to have to earn this back. So she has a weakness, though, and it's very, very easy. She loves popcorn. I'm not kidding. She can eat a bowl of popcorn this big, and if I reach in for a handful, I get like this wicked snarl. She actually bit me one time for doing so. I don't know where she puts it. She's 5'2" and just tiny, and she'll eat a bowl. All kidding aside, the biggest bowl we have filled up with popcorn. So my in is because she has braces, she can't have popcorn. But if I sneak it to her, I'm a good guy. So I may be making popcorn later. She'll smell it and she'll know, and I'm off the hook. Have an amazing day. Y'all got work to do. Go out there and make sure that you're doing the right thing and you're doing it for the right reasons. So figure out what your why is. If you haven't, please do. Go out there and tell somebody, never going to change, that you love them and they're important and that they actually matter. Don't talk real estate if you don't have to. It's not important. But think about what the one thing, maybe the one thing today that was most important, the one thing that resonates to me is it's the 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th call, contact, follow-up that actually really is the sweet spot. That 80% of the business occurs after that attempt. That you can't just listen to one, I'm not interested, or they didn't return my call and assume that you're out. Maybe they have an alternative story going on in their world, that they're busy, or heaven forbid, somebody's not feeling well, or there's an issue with the children. I promise you, if you called me yesterday to try and sell me something, my focus was on the kids. You wouldn't have gotten anything from me. You wouldn't get my time. Let's stop writing the story for other people. As Alan had said, he said, I'm going to continue to stay on point, on purpose, and look at the results. Again, and I'm not letting this one go for a while, Alan, because this is just rock solid, cool stuff. I mean, seriously, y'all get the idea. Besides being very, very successful in real estate, basically, we just said, tell you what we're going to do. You're so good at what you're doing. We're going to bribe you by giving you back 100% of the commission that you've already paid us as a company. We're going to give it back to you in the way of a bribe so that you do what you're already doing, which is share with your ideas and your goals and what you've done to be successful with others and help them get successful. That's the bribe that we're giving to you, Alan. Will you accept this bribe, please?
Hold on, I gotta get my arm. You twist my
Right? It's like, of course. Anyway, one of the biggest things, congratulations, Alan. That is, for me, one of the huge successes and just a massive part of the day.
Let me just throw one more thing. You know, it's funny because I was watching John Wick 3, and Angelica Houston's in there, and she, you know, if you follow the John Wick trilogy, one of the best lines in the movie, I think, is "I have served, I will be of service," and I use that as sort of, I'm not trying. Even when I was in construction, I never tried to sell my clients. I was just being of service. Show them what you know. Let them make the decision. If you show them that you're on the right path and you're doing the right things, the rest just kind of follows.
Outstanding. Let's put this over, and I'm going to find it at some point. Let's see if I can dig this up. Anybody has anything they want to add? I would love to hear it. This is really a motivational conversation more than anything. Let me know what you guys have in your mind.
Hey, George.
Yes, ma'am.
It's Lizette here.
Hi.
Hey. Well, I always love if you guys follow me on social media, I do love these conversations. These kind of like, this is where you kind of tick my, you're right. Or you want to hear me talk. I really appreciate, talking about all this because it really, we're living in a time that I think a lot of people don't realize, especially in real estate, that we're thinking, oh, well, how many dials? It's great. It's great to do all that. Keep your numbers because you have to be purposeful and intentional. But sometimes I think we're missing a lot of agents are not there. And I think what I see is the approach is like, we're not looking at the person in whole. And people are going through real situations right now, making hard decisions in life, right? Like to send them to school, not to school, all these, political topics, which we all know I don't need to get into. So sometimes what I mean is we can bring these opportunities, or even in our services, there's so many things that we can bring to be able to provide an opportunity, like even EXP, I love the fact that, it's everything is for me, virtual works great. Actually, this is my best year yet in real estate so far. And a lot of it has been with the leverage of being able to be home and kind of understand how to work all this at a higher level. And there's a lot of single moms out there, a lot of people struggling that are going to have to work from home. So, bringing these opportunities, even through our business or anything else that you can provide for them is I think, is something that it's our job to do, right? You give them something of value.
George, I can't hear you. It's
Hi.
not mute. Oh, there it is. I was
Thank
like,
you. No,
it's not
my
muted,
microphone
but
was
it's
off.
muted.
For all of you that don't know, Lizette was a cultural ambassador for a couple of offices with another company that she was with prior to making the transition over here. I love your engagement. I love your involvement. She also probably hasn't shared this, but she's the caretaker for actually quite a few people. So she wears a lot of hats. Every time you bring something to this, Lizette, and I know her story because we've been friends for a while and even closer now, as we're more aligned in our business thoughts as well as personal stuff. I appreciate everything you do and everything you share. And for everybody else that's doing this as well, your contribution is more important than you possibly know. Your ability to say, hey, I got something I want to share with everybody. Remember, we're all in this together. Lizette, I'm truly, truly grateful for everything you do.
Yeah, and it's, I think the problem is that we don't have, and by the way, George, you're more than welcome to share my story with anybody. I'm open book that way, because we don't know when our story is going to change somebody's life. And that, I think, this part of this called inspirational motivational. Well, part of inspirational motivational is sharing your walk, because somebody needs to hear that and say, wow, I am going through the same thing. And, I thought I had to be this tough realtor that have everything in line. Well, guess what? A lot of people behind the scenes are going through a lot of things, like you said. A lot of people, they see my social media. Oh, you're happy, peppy. I'm like, listen, I'm not saying I'm not. I love my life. I really do. I'm very grateful and blessed. But I call them circumstances to make me get there, right? To be grateful, to be, I call them opportunities in order for me to grow in my faith and also emotionally as well. So I think, like I said, there's a lot of people out there when I sit down and have lunch with them and they're like, I'm going through this, and you could never tell. We need to ask more, hey, how you're doing? And, is there anything I can do? Let me walk with you, let me know if you want to vent. Let's have a coffee. Let's have a drink. Just simple things like that. You never know, but you're welcome.
Thank you. And that's right along the lines of what I say on a daily basis. Tell somebody you love them, right? Let them know that they're important to you. Because you're right. If you ask and you listen, it's amazing what will happen from there. Anybody else have anything they want to add? Trish, God bless you. Holy cow, to 3 restaurants when my boys were young and missed so much. Trish, you and I got to talk privately. I'd had the exact same experience. I got into real estate from the restaurant business, and then real estate took over and I missed some experience. I was so worried about my business that I forgot about what really was important. And I missed some years there from like 8 to 12 and 13 with my boys. And I'm doing everything I can to get it back, but they're 17 and 19 and I can't do it. And I watch others as well. Remember, your big why is important. And for a lot of us, it's such a, God, that's point on, Trish. Thank you. Maybe your why is your family. I really hope it is. So, if that's not your big why, it's definitely one of your whys. How do you do that? And I feel you have the freedom to enjoy it. Yes. Trish, you and I seriously need to talk. All right. It's going to be time for the after party. If nobody's got anything else, I have one thing to share before I turn it over to Tiffany. Oh, no. Let's see. Oh, I can't do it. Hold on. I got to do this. You guys, you got to stick with me. I've been saving this all day.
I'm scared.
I am too, but it's okay, guys. I'm host and I can throw them out at any moment. Don't worry.
No loud noises or flashes. I'm driving.
Hold on. All right, everybody hold on. Tiffany, it's time for the after party.
I'm going to the right lane. Hold on.
Okay, then.
I had to do it. Did y'all see it? Oh, I hope you did.
No.
Oh, never mind. I'll have to do it later when I
wow.
get my computer
I see
back.
it now.
Oh, now you can see it, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I got to